at all? No
No slideshow. I was going to, but then I'm going to do some.
We don't need to, because what we'll do a. So once the set releases,
we're streaming, by the way.
Okay, I think, and maybe I know we used to do it this way, but I can't remember if we did it this way for Gadget Zan and Ngoro, but the 10 weeks after, we go over neutral and all class cards, right?
Right.
So from now until the show, now until release, well, actually,
that's when all the cards come out and get revealed after the 22nd.
Yeah, so we have one more show or two more shows until cards start being released. So maybe next week we can.
Not one more show. The second week they'll start.
Okay. So maybe next week we can go into detail about the cards that we've seen so far.
Okay.
So this week we'll just hit the points. That way we don't go 5 hours. Because I will talk forever. I will, honestly. It's been so long. I will talk forever. So,
no, that's fine. We can, we can do instead, if we do have spacer, is just talk about what happened with the other reveals, other games, BlizzCon.
Oh, okay. I don't think we'll need filler.
I know.
Honestly,
if by some miraculous chance, then we can throw that in there.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then
I got you. Yeah. We'll talk about all the Diablo stuff.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's great. In fact, season 12 starts tonight.
There we go. We just talked about everything.
I've got a whole bunch of people at work that are playing. So
we literally just talked about everything.
Well, after the show, we are getting a season 12 team together. So
I'll be in there.
Join us.
Yeah, I will join you. Rez and I are going to do it tomorrow night. Well, my tomorrow morning, his tomorrow night in Korea. But can I just say that I was disappointed that they didn't talk about nothing Diablo.
Well, they said early on, like months ahead, that there's going to be no real Diablo. Nothing.
It's all good. That just gives me more Hearthstone time.
Next year.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be well, we're going to be there, so it's going to be crazy. I'm going to be dressed up as Diablo.
I want to see it.
Yeah, right. I said I was going to
actually. I'm considering. If I'm going to dress up as anybody, I'm thinking Reaper from Overwatch.
You can do Reaper, dude. You got to learn to dance.
No, all I have to do is just spin around going, die.
Well, I consider that a dance. Okay. But you, the way you'll do it, though, it won't be a dance. It'll literally be like, die. I love you, dude.
Yeah.
So tonight, I'm telling myself more than I'm telling you. Tonight, just the points, just straight to the point. Man. And then next week, we'll go into detail about the cards that we like, what we think, talk a little bit more about the dungeon run, because I've been watching a lot of videos on the gameplay, and it's, oh my gosh, it's going to be so cool.
There's all kinds of people out there. Awaken X, Zargon.
Oh, sweet.
Zargon.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, cool.
Hey, Pop-Out's back on the chat. They had removed Pop-Out option.
Yeah, right. I noticed that a couple of weeks ago that it wasn't there. So, yeah.
That helps.
Right. 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, dude. I just wanted to check Twitch. What's the little mug down in the corner? That's kind of cool.
That's a tip jar.
Ah, I like it.
Yeah, so those who are watching Twitch, if they want to throw bits at us, they can do so.
My internet is not better, Awaken X. Does it sound better? I haven't been...
It's not bad, but you're also in a different location that makes it look different, so it's almost like it's different.
Different location.
Your wall color is actually tan.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's actually
And you don't have stuff all over the walls.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. We're actually seeing the wall.
Maybe.
It's the same room. You moved, didn't you?
Well, I had to move the camera down. So usually, because I'm sitting now, because my leg is severely messed up.
Right.
So I'm going to move the camera up to show you how it usually looks.
Yep. Well, but usually you've got your boxes all on the wall and stuff.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess I haven't been in here. Is that okay? Did I severely mess up the camera?
No, you're great. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm still okay. No, usually I'm in the other room, but I converted that into Leslie's office. Moved back into here. That will in the future be the nursery once everything works. Which, good news, we went to the doctor, and the doctor said
no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
Yeah, he was very disappointed. He came in and almost had tears in his eyes. Yeah, he said Espos didn't work, and he almost cried. And then he said, "So what are you guys thinking of doing?" And we were like, "Oh, well, we obviously want to try again because the world needs more Espo." And he said he agreed, and we still had that obvious look of just distraught on our faces. And he was like, what's the holdup? What's keeping you guys from doing this process again? And we said, well, cash,
money. Yeah.
And he was like, he said, I practically own this place, so we'll take care of you. So he's gonna everything he can do, for free, he's gonna do. Like all the stuff that's done there, like the biopsies, the transfer, all that stuff. Sure. He's going to go ahead and take care of us and help us out any way he can.
Wow.
Then, we'll meet our deductible again, obviously, because dude, one of the prescriptions she's on is over $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. So, but we're going to meet our deductible really easy again. And then we'll only pay like 10% of that, which is still crazy. $100 a month for pills or shots or whatever. I don't even know which one it is because she takes so many. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it again. So she goes in for surgery, and I think she updated her blog, but she goes in for surgery on the 28th of this month.
Okay.
So because they did find out the reason why.
Oh, why didn't
it? Yeah. So which was good, because I was like, man, I hope there's a reason why it didn't work. None of this whole, we don't know, because that's not cool. Like, then you're left, craziness. So, there's a reason why it didn't work, and the doctor's going to solve that when he goes in for the surgery. So yeah, good stuff.
Sweet.
So, yeah. Right. Everything's
it's one thing to take the chance again, knowing you know the problem and that you have a way to fix it, versus going in having no idea and saying this might not, we have about the same amount of chance as the last time, but this time you're going in saying, hey, we have a better chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get this thing going then.
1 second. Okay. Somebody was trying to message me. Let me get that off. I didn't even know Blizzard was running. Okay. No Zentangle or whatever, Zencast.
It's been messed up last time I tried to use it, and I kind of backed off from it.
Gotcha.
But we may try it next time. We'll see. Okay. Because I got an email from them saying, hey, we had some issues. You address those issues, and one of their issues is Dropbox integration. Dropbox changed something they did on their end, and that interfered with how they process and put the files when they're writing to Dropbox. Dropbox was causing a delay to the writing, and it was actually causing issues in the audio files.
Gotcha.
So now they actually stood up their own storage and said, we're saving it all on our servers now. And not using Dropbox. You can use Dropbox if you want to, but what we do is we save it all on our servers. And then once you've finished, we copy it over to Dropbox.
I gotcha.
So that way you get the best quality from the beginning instead of having issues. So.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my leg. I'm actually trying to prop it up underneath my desk.
Okay. All right. We'll do this quick so that you can get off of it. Well, yeah. Quick. We'll get started quickly so that you'll be done sooner.
Let's do this.
Okay. Oh,
you did it.
Yep. Let's sneeze again. Excuse me.
Settle down.
Okay, now let's try this again. Okay. Diablo's done updating. I'm going to close this.
So really, we're doing some Diablo after this?
Seriously, yeah.
You got room for one?
Of course. I think. I don't even know how many. You can only do, what, 4 on a run?
I have no idea. 5?
Thank you. I don't know. And Zandrosis says, sorry, he didn't know you were about to.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Wow, Reds. I changed my debit card. So unfortunately my auto draft stopped. So I gotta redo it and then I can start playing again.
Oh, okay. Okay, here we go.
Speaking of World of Warcraft, that's what I was talking about.
You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players.
Ah, you're new here.
Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Vastidius.
And I am back. Yes.
Yeah, back.
That's right. I'm Espo. Oh, dude. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Like the last episode, you couldn't even see me. I was perpetually in the middle of a race, or I think that was actually at the beginning of a race. But that was that picture. Now I.
Oh, right.
Right.
That's like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what are you talking about?
That was. So I got my animatronics fixed, and this is the new animated Espo working, hopefully, as intended.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
We are back, and again, sorry everyone for the crazy last few weeks. We've had a few things happening, crazy stuff. One of those was BlizzCon. By the way, we did get to hear this.
Hello, BlizzCon.
That's right. Hello, BlizzCon. That's Mike Morheim starting out BlizzCon this year. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had that go on. Espo decided to go on a vacation on a kind of last minute. Well, not really a vacation, but a conference with his school teachers stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you did get some experience there. You had a little fun while you were away, right?
Oh yeah, it was the North Carolina State Art Teachers Convention, and it started out great, but it ended me in the hospital. So, yeah.
Well, before you go there, you did something while you were down at that convention.
Oh yeah. So it was in Wilmington, North Carolina, and it was actually I want to say that was the first weekend that you were able to get NEMSI if you attended a established tavern brawl, not those crazy pseudo tavern brawls that were on the internet posing as real tavern brawls. People were putting their friends' addresses. Hey, get NIMSY at my friend's house.
Right.
So I get down there and I say, you know what? Let me go ahead and see what's going on. So it just so happened that Cape Fear Games had a fireside gathering, and it was their 4th fireside gatherings, so they were established by one, because you had to have at least 3 to be established. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then they said, well, we're going to have a little friendly tournament going on too. And I said, you know what, I am all for supporting fireside gatherings. Fine. $8 they were charging. I said, oh, definitely. That's easy. So they wanted me to submit 3 decks, and it was a conquest format where you just win with the deck, then you can't use it anymore. Win with the deck, can't use it anymore. Conquest best of 3. So yeah, all you had to do was win with 2 decks. And I submitted my 3 decks. They were a rogue that was my spooky, haunty trick-or-treat deck. And it had all the undead and skeletons and ghouls and ghosts and haunters in it. Very easy to do with Knights of the Frozen Throne. So very cool. Because they had to be standard. So played little mid-range hunter with and I decided I don't usually play with Hydra, but I thought, you know what, I think Bittertide Hydra is going to work for me this time because it's in a tournament setting and I can do it. I can play it correctly. So my third deck was like a minion heavy warlock, because if I'm going to go to a fireside gathering, I should play Espo style. So I should have a fun deck, which I did with my rogue, and I should also play with my 2 favorite hero classes, which are hunter and warlock. So I can't deny myself that, right? And I can't deny the people that know me that. So I went in, and I was a little early because I thought, you know what, I've done these things before. I know how they run. Maybe I can give them a hand. And luckily, you know, I was there, and I was able to, you know, hang out a little bit and meet the guys that were running it. They ran it before, so they definitely knew what they were doing. And it was really, really cool. We did a 3v3 in the fireside, which is where you start off with a hero at 20 health.
Sure.
You each of you have 20 health, and you beat each other down. Once you lose, you're supposed to switch up with another person on that computer, but a lot of people were on their own cellular devices, so they really weren't into that. So you just played 1v1, but with 3 classes. So basically you had to beat that other person's class. Every time you got them past 20 health, then you got a discover effect, and you got to discover another class. And it was pretty cool. All the decks were pre-built. So it was really neat. You chose a class pre-built. So very new player friendly. The lady that I was playing had been playing WoW since its inception. So she knew all about the World of Warcraft. So the game was cool for her because it was like, hey, I know these characters, you know, Leroy Jenkins. Oh my goodness. You know, I got that achievement. So really cool playing against her. And there ended up being 12 people. In the tournament, there was probably about 16 people that actually showed up for the fireside to get NEMZ. And they said that's not unusual. Usually they get about 10 to 14 people. So played in the tournament, and I won.
What?
Yeah, so all my matches were 2-1. You know, I would lose 1, win 2, you know, win 1, lose 1, win 1.
Was there a certain deck that was losing all the time, or was it different each time?
No, I mean, my Halloween deck did amazing. That rogue did phenomenal. But I will say, and you all are probably like, wow, Espo, good job. Hold your applause, because your applause should be for this one undead man named Prince Keliseth. Now you can applause, because it should be for him. He was my MVP, or MVU, most valuable undead. I mean, I don't know how it happened. Maybe the spirits of Halloween were with me. They said, you know what, Espo, you brought this deck that is Halloween oriented. You put it all in. We're going to go ahead and just give it to you. I had Keliseth on turn 2 almost every game. It was ridiculous.
Bravo.
For Keliseth.
Right.
So that card, it won me the tournament. So I won $28 in store credit. And what was really cool was everybody that was in the tournament. In other words, everybody that paid $8 got to take part in a snake draft of goodies on the table. So they did, they chose people, randomly. And then, person number one, choose anything from the table. And you could choose, as you can see, but I don't know if you can see behind me, the little pop thrall. So the little vinyl plastic guys.
Yep.
There were Sylvanas, Thrall. I think it was Murky. They had necklaces, keychains, the bottle opener. They had a pillow. All the Hearthstone goodies that you get at a fireside gathering. They had all those. And I got to choose, and I got Thrall. And then I also got the necklace, the Hearthstone necklace. So soon I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream, and I think I might be giving those away to some lucky listeners and viewers.
You mean this Hearthstone necklace?
It's similar to that. That's the lanyard version. Mine's the chain version. I don't think it lights up.
Turn off. There you go. Now you can see it.
Yeah, yeah, that's up. Really cool. I think that's a lot better than the one I have.
Yeah, this is the one I got from the sale they had. It was like everything was on sale, and it's like $2. But I was ordering something. I was ordering the jacket, which I'm finally gonna get to wear now. That's finally cooled off around here.
Right.
But it's like, okay, but I could also get that lanyard for a couple bucks. Yeah. I could also get my World of Warcraft refreshing spring water item level 1 uses restores 180 mana over 18 seconds, must remain seated while drinking. So got that.
I like it.
Plus a few other gadget stuff,
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really cool. Like I said, I got $28 in store credit, which you could cash in for like 75% in cash, which it was like 11 o'clock at night when the tournament was over. And, after I said my goodbyes and ran my mouth, I said, you know what, I don't have enough time to look around the whole store and get into the board games. And even though I really wanted to get a board game, I was like, I don't have time to choose. I would choose something and then probably regret it because I chose too quick.
Right.
So I said, I'll cash out. So I got like $23 and thanked the guys. And it was just awesome. I tweeted out about them the other day, and Cape Fear Games, guys. If you're ever in Wilmington, North Carolina, look them up. They're probably 3 miles from downtown Wilmington, super close. So, the next day was the last day of the conference. So, it was like super sweet. Right in the middle of the conference, I was able to go to a fireside gathering, and woke up the next morning with a fever.
Well, the funny thing is, before we go into that story, is that I also got an MC that same day.
Whoa! What?
I did, yeah, but I did it in a way that's completely different than we did it. You see, you know our good friends over Hero Power, right? They run a Hero Power Tavern Brawl also, and I got mine from there, all the way in Tennessee.
I see how you did this.
Squishy Dragon was on a little trip visiting some friends over there, and she's like, I'm in town. There's a Hearthstone Brawl, Tavern Brawl. I need to go visit them. Let's just do them both at the same time. And she sends me a message. What's your passcode? Not that she would ever give that out, but she knows it anyways. But she's like, I'll log in and get it for you. So she logged in and got it for both herself and myself.
Sweet.
And so I was able to get an MC and did it with our friends and had a great time doing it. So
very cool.
She gets into the game, she's like, I don't know what any of these cards are.
Oh, poor.
In her case, she's like, "Where's Bastion? Where's Tracer? Where's my Soldier 76 card? I don't know. So I don't know what any of that is."
That's right.
So that's how I ended up getting it, but it worked out well because I was not sure how I was gonna end up getting it. So I got it. But then we had Rad on the show that week. He covered
dude, again, applause for Rad. because he's just, oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah. Right, Radmobile. For those of you that don't know, you need to know. You need to get over to is it Legendary Loot Box?
Mm-hmm.
So Legendary Loot Box is the podcast about Overwatch, and Radmobile and Squishy Dragon are over there talking about it.
And Nibble.
And Nibble, they are amazing. They definitely know their stuff. And wow, just number one Mercy NA, right? Is that Squishy?
Yeah, number one Mercy NA on the PTR.
There you go. Right. But yeah, Rad came in and did an amazing job. I listened the next day, actually on my way to the conference. I listened, and yeah, you guys nailed it. I was a little scared because I was like, oh, this is scary. He's really good. Maybe Bastidius will be like, yeah, we don't need Espo anymore. So I was a little scared. I was like, I like talking about Hearthstone a lot.
Yeah. Well, so, then we had BlizzCon. Yeah. So BlizzCon was coming. And right before BlizzCon, I was going to do a show on Thursday. I was like, hey, Espo, you want to... And I was like, oh, no. Espo's like, I can't.
Yeah. So like I said, the next morning after the Fireside Gathering, I woke up last day of the art conference in Wilmington, and it was really gross day. It was just raining and not really cold, but just like a miserable rain and cloudy. And walked to the conference about a half mile and soaking wet, sitting there all day, had a little bit of a fever, but I wanted to stick it out because I need the credits. And it was really cool. There was a lot of good speakers and a lot of good presentations that I wanted to sit through. So opening up a new school next year, and I will be the lead art teacher, and there'll be 2 art teachers that will be coming different days to help me out because we'll be having a lot of kids. So I was like, man, I need to get as much information as I can. So networked a lot, had a lot of fun. On my drive home that afternoon, definitely didn't feel good, and something just wasn't right. That night, took a shower and noticed that I had a spot on my leg that was itchy and kind of irritated. So I cleaned it up, bandaged it up, took it as like a mosquito bite that, got a little bit out of control.
Maybe it was a leech.
Yeah. Well, leech would have been good. Leeches are, people think leeches are bad. Leeches are good. So anyway, let's not get into that. So, the next morning, Monday morning, I woke up, leg was definitely infected. And I have a history of MRSA, which is where I get cellulitis and get an infection and get a really bad swelling and irritation wherever that wound is. So Monday morning, I was like, oh, geez. So I cleaned it really good, bandaged it up. And that night, Monday night, I was like, oh, this is not good. I got to go to the hospital tomorrow. So taught all day long Tuesday because that's just what I do, and got sent home because someone saw me limping, and they know my history, and they were like, no, Aspo, let me see. So I pulled up my pant leg and showed one of the ladies that I teach with, and she says, oh, no, you're going to the emergency room. So I went to urgent care because I didn't think it was that bad.
Sure.
And the PA came in, and I had my leg propped up, and she barely made it through the door, and her jaw hit the floor. And she's like, okay, back out. We're going to emergency room. So she calls Wake Med Carrie, and she says, hey, got a guy coming up right now. And she points to the door and sends me out. So we went to the emergency room, and they saw me right away and immediately put me on antibiotics and started treating me for what they call sepsis, which is a infection in your blood. So sepsis can cause serious problems. It could get to your organs. They will shut down, obviously getting to your heart, and could kill you, right? So it's not real cool. So they immediately started pumping me with antibiotics. The swelling and the redness went from my ankle to my knee. It looked like I was trying to smuggle a football underneath my skin in my leg.
Wow.
And it was about as red as a football. And it was bad. It was real bad, real fast, and real scary. So my whole family's calling me. Leslie's, of course, holding my hand and crying. And I was like, I don't know what everybody's worried about. Like, doctors and nurses are coming into the ER room, and they're looking at me, and they're like, "Oh, what are you in here for?" And then they look down at my leg, and they're like, "Oh, never mind, okay," because I'm all good spirits, man. I can definitely feel, like my leg is about ready to explode. My heart beats in my leg, and like pain level probably 7 or 8, and I'm like sweating, but smiling, having a good time, joking around. It's just how I am. I got 2 legs, man. So what if one goes? I mean, not so what, but hey,
it's kind of hard to ride a bike with one leg.
Oh no,
you could do it.
Challenge me. I dare you. Challenge me.
You could do it, but it's a lot easier.
I will do it. No, I mean, well, if that. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So they ended up getting me a room and putting different antibiotics in me because obviously the ones that they first tried weren't good enough. So got a room, and the next day woke up and was still there. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a nightmare. And I texted Steve or texted Best, and he said, I was like, hey, prayers and thoughts, please. Because I kind of started thinking, wow, this is pretty serious. And if this stuff gets to my heart, I could be goners, So I had a moment there on Wednesday morning where I was a little concerned because I'd never been in the hospital before for anything that serious. I've been in for concussions and, just things where I didn't stay.
That explains a whole lot.
It does. I'm actually on I had to talk about it too. They wanted to know. So I'm on my 6th concussion right now. So I didn't get one then though. I didn't get one while I was in the hospital. There was a slight chance because I did try to get up too early one time and almost fell. But anyway, I'll get to the point. I am better. I ended up spending, and this is the good part. There's always a silver lining.
Yes.
I'm FaceTiming with Fastidious in my hospital bed, and I'm like, dude, everything's good. They got me on good antibiotics. I'm not taking the pain meds because that's not what I do. I can't take pain meds. I have to know what's going on with my body. So I was like, dude, there's the silver lining. Fastidious had mentioned he was going to take Friday off to watch BlizzCon.
Which
I was very, very jealous. I was like, oh man, I got to teach. How am I going to do this? I'll get sepsis. I'll go in the hospital. So I'm on FaceTime with Fastidious, and I'm like, dude, they're saying I got to stay through Friday. This is awesome. I got the virtual ticket. I got my laptop. I got good internet here in the hospital. Right. Dude, I'm going to watch BlizzCon. So it ended up working out perfectly. And this will segue great into our BlizzCon talking because I'm getting visited by doctors and nurses constantly in the hospital, right? Because they're trying to figure out, how to best treat what's going on with my blood. So every 4 hours, they're checking my blood to make sure it's okay. So I'm real nervous because I'm like, man, I got to see this stuff live, right? I got to see it live. I got to watch at least the Hearthstone, the opening ceremonies,
sure.
Right?
Open ceremony and Hearthstone if possible.
Right. So I'm like, all right, I got to see opening ceremonies. Please let me see opening ceremonies. So I'm asking every nurse that comes in. I'm like, okay, do you know exactly what time the doctor's coming? Can you tell them to go across the hallway first before they come to me? Or can you have them come to, I'm trying to schedule the doctors around the opening ceremonies. Dude, it worked out perfect. As soon as the opening ceremonies were over, my wound specialist came in and they talked to me. And then the CDC came in because the Center for Disease Control wanted to talk to me about how I got this and, what was going on and, what kind of thing was in my system. It was crazy, dude. Everybody that came in my room had to wear like hazmat suits. It was really, really wild.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it worked out perfect. I got to see opening ceremonies and then what's next, Hearthstone. It was bits and pieces because I did have a lot of people coming in and out, and they actually ended up sending me home Friday night, which was my birthday. Happy birthday. You get to see BlizzCon and you get to go home. So I got to go home on Friday, and things just looked up from there. I've been healing up. Things are looking really good. Still on antibiotics. It's just pill form, not on IV form. So I'm allowed to be free again, because that was very difficult walking around with an IV and heart monitor and all these wires, man. Being in the hospital is tough. Limited movement, and I like to move around. So, a physical therapist came in, and she was like, what's going on? And I told her what I've been doing, because I'd been getting up every morning that I was in the hospital, and I was stretching out. I wasn't working out. I was stretching out, because I understand that when you're in a bed for that long, you could possibly get blood clots, because your circulation isn't great. So I was making sure I was getting my heart rate up, getting, blood flowing everywhere. And she was like, you don't need me at all. So I was like, oh, cool. So everything worked out, and got to see BlizzCon. The next couple days I was in bed. Obviously, I'm still supposed to be on bed rest, but right now I have my leg up underneath my desk, so that's good. I got to see everything because I was on bed rest. I was a little worried because the VODs, the videos on demand, were not showing up right away.
Yeah, they took a couple hours for some of those went up.
Yeah, the opening ceremonies went up right away.
Yeah, because that one was... They put that one out for free, so they kind of made that one available real quick.
Okay. Well, it took like half a day, so I ended up waiting. I think actually Saturday morning, I probably ended up seeing the What's Next, full What's Next, and I watched. So I watched What's Next. I watched the tournament, all the Q&As, which wow. But so let's talk a little bit about what we saw.
Well, one thing I do want to say real quick is that my whole idea, I was going to take Friday off and hang out with everybody and get on Discord, and everybody's gonna be available to talk about this. It'll be awesome. Have chats, whatever. Right. I was looking afraid there's gonna be so much conversation going on that I would miss something on the live stream. Okay, I hope this works out right. It was just me. Nobody was in chat. I'm like, where is everybody? Where aren't you? I'm like, did you not take the day off like I did? Come on, people. Really?
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
Why didn't you take the day off? It's BlizzCon.
Right? I'm like, this is like the biggest day of the year. I'm taking the day off. And people at work were like, no idea. They had no idea what I was talking about. Like, Blizzard, the company that makes all these really awesome games. What's wrong with you people?
They have a convention. They have a convention? Yeah. 20,000 people.
Actually 30,000 this year, by the way.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because of the new area they opened, they were able to sell more tickets. But anyways, I watched it by myself. I chatted a little bit on Discord and chat with it, and even Squishy abandoned me. She had to go hang out with a friend, so she went off and did stuff while I'm watching it by myself here in my office. Going, I'm watching this thing, no matter what. Just leave me alone. I'm good. So I got to watch most of it live all throughout. I just had it on all day long, Friday and Saturday, and I had a great time just kind of catching up with all of that stuff. So, and then I've gone back and I've watched a lot of the stuff afterwards using the virtual ticket and caught up on a lot of things too, because I did not get to watch the Hearthstone tournament because I was watching all the other streams because I wanted to watch what's new for all the different games that are coming out. And that kind of took precedence first. But then I went back and I watched some of those.
All that stuff. See, that stuff I didn't catch up on because I was... Dude, all Hearthstone, man. I'm all Hearthstone. It's
okay.
It's hard.
Well, now that we've finally caught up on you, I mean, man, what a mess! I am sorry you had to go through all that.
That's why I said at the top of the show, dude. I was like, I'm back. It feels so good that I'm not standing up at my desk. I'm sitting down, which is a little disappointment. I know, it hurts my heart, but I just super excited to be back.
Well, I'm glad you're back because I bet you are probably all bottled up waiting to talk about all this stuff. So, okay, let's talk about this. Okay, BlizzCon happened. Yay, awesome. It was incredible. I do honestly, let me give an opinion on BlizzCon in general. and this is probably jaded because I wasn't there, but I felt like it wasn't as good as last year. I mean, obviously it's because I'm not there, but I mean, content-wise, I mean, yes, we have a new expansion for World of Warcraft. Yes, we have a new expansion, a new map and a new character for Overwatch, but the reveal wasn't like it was last year. You know, last year we had Sombra interrupting all of BlizzCon and shorting out the system, and all that craziness went on. You know, that was thrilling. You know, it was an awesome way to reveal. And this year was like, we have a new hero. Here it is. Check it out. It's like, oh, okay.
It was like, and we have Moira.
Right.
Okay.
And then Heroes of the Storm. There's a new two good characters coming in, Hanzo, and
that did give me goosebumps.
That was a great intro.
Yeah.
The new map was kind of fun. You know, there's some cool stuff coming with that. You know, each of the games has, well, not each of the games. Diablo didn't have anything, but
I'm sad.
We knew it wasn't gonna have anything. But I'm kind of sad. I wanted something for that. But anyways, it just felt like though overall there wasn't this moments, you know, except for Hearthstone. I think Hearthstone stole the show with the most incredible content, I think, out of all of them. So, which is great. I mean, last year we had really good content also, but I think this is tops last year for Hearthstone.
Probably,
because of the dungeon runs. I think that alone blew away last year. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the thing is, I think overall, I was kind of not so, it wasn't that great. Yeah, I missed out on a lot of things. Plus, last year we did have some Diablo content, and we had some other stuff. So,
yeah, Rez and I were talking about that before we started watching the virtual ticket, because every day in the hospital was tough. I had my ups and downs, but I FaceTimed with Rez and we talked about everything we could talk about. And we obviously talked about BlizzCon last year. And we were talking about the opening ceremonies and how it like when they did the Sombra thing. I don't play Overwatch. I mean, much. Okay, so I play with you guys every once in a while when you're like, come on, Esmo, we can do it. You know, when you guys don't want to be competitive.
Bastion has a new skin. You have to try it.
That's right. So Rez and I were talking about how do you top that entry? She basically, she literally, not basically, she literally stole the show. She did. Because that was the concept. She hacked into BlizzCon and stole BlizzCon from Mike Morheim and the crew.
You're giving me chills reminding me of that in detail. I mean, I'm like that was awesome.
I'm talking like we were sitting there and I welled up with tears of joy. I had chills running over my body. It was like hair standing up on the back of my neck. It was such an experience. And I think it would have been similar even if we wouldn't have been there. Mm-hmm. Just because it was that epic. She literally stole the show. How do you top that? You know, when you talk about stealing, he stole the show. Well, she literally stole the show. Yep. So, I mean, how do you top that? So, yeah, I agree with you. But look at what, you know,
I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I thought the experience was better last year. But again, it's jaded because we were there. Yeah. So, but I just felt like I think overall content was okay.
Even if we wouldn't have been there last year, I think it's still a little bit. It's not disappointing at all.
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
A little less grandiose. Yeah, like it was last year.
The other huge thing that I miss is the people. Getting to meet everyone, to hang out with people, and to see people throughout. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to doing next year if possible. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say overall, I thought it wasn't a 9 or a 10 on the scale. I'd probably say it was more a 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep.
Okay. Well, right after BlizzCon, we're going to talk specifically about Hearthstone and what they're doing. They announced the new Kobolds and Catacombs expansion, and they had a great reveal video that was really great. Of course, there's another song, well, sort of song poem type thing, and one of the things that happened right at the beginning of the week after BlizzCon is that everybody, when you logged into Hearthstone, you got a new legendary minion. It's Marin the Fox, the one that they kind of revealed in pictures prior to BlizzCon. And so just this past Monday, everyone got Marin the Fox. He's an 8-mana, 6/6 legendary. His battle cry says summon a 0/8 treasure chest for your opponent, and in parentheses, break it for awesome loot. And the cool thing about this, though, is to one up a little further, kind of like they did way back in the very beginning when they revealed it. You got a golden version of him if you purchased a virtual ticket or attended live to BlizzCon. So if you haven't already logged into Hearthstone, log in and you're going to get a message, hey, you got a new legendary minion. And then you go, hey, you got a golden legendary minion if you had the virtual ticket or BlizzCon. So it's awesome. He's a really cool card.
Yeah.
And so what he does is he spawns what's called a master chest. On your opponent's side, it's a 3-mana 0/8 token, and a death rattle says, give your opponent a fantastic treasure. So what happens with those treasures? Well, once you destroy that, it puts a card in your hand, and it's one of 4 different cards. They all cost 3 mana. First one's called Toland's Goblet. Text on it says, draw a card, fill your hands with copies of it. 2, Wondrous Wand. Draw 3 cards. They cost 0. Zerog's Crown. Discover a legendary minion and summon 2 copies of it. And then the Golden Kobold. He's a 6/6 minion with taunt and a battle cry that says, replace your hand with legendary minions. So you've been playing with this extensively, I hear.
I have. Yep. So lots of fun. Really, really cool. I think I would go into detail about what I did, but let's just say 11 master chests on
That's crazy.
I cracked open because I wanted to see what could happen. The best one I got was the Golden Kobold that was actually a golden card.
Nice.
Because
very cool.
Your golden Marin the Fox cannot be disenchanted, because I was gonna disenchant him immediately and get basically a free legendary, because everybody gets Marin the Fox. Yep. Everybody that logs in gets Marin the Fox. Go out, log in right now, you'll get Marin the Fox. And if you got virtual,
Young Woo was like, you know what? Espen's going to dust this.
Yeah,
let's prevent him from dusting.
Well, he liked my tweets. So yes, when I tweeted out, I said, should I dust it? And of course, Young Woo liked that tweet. And I found out quickly. One of our listeners and a friend of the show said, you can't dust it. And sure enough, you can't. So luckily for Golden Marin the Fox, he couldn't be dusted. But he gives golden chests, which give golden cards. And if you use the Golden Kobold, your hand gets replaced with golden legendaries. Oh my gosh. It was awesome. I had like a full hand of golden legendaries. It was great. Lots of fun. So go out, play your Marin. Awesome. And I would play him in Rogue, where you can shadow step him, because that's what I did. And I got too many master chests. I had to be careful because I got too many. So yeah, he's awesome.
Well, another non-BlizzCon related topic I really want to mention before we go digging into BlizzCon is that after all this happened and after the reveals and all the good stuff, there were some conversations that happened that revolved around some of the things that are coming as changes to Hearthstone that are little minor changes. So one of the biggest things is that there's upcoming visual changes to legendary/non-collectible cards. And you might notice when you start playing Marin the Fox that his master chest lacks a rarity gem for a legendary, even though it contains the silver dragon frame adornment on it. And that's what the new non-collectible legendary cards will look like going forward. One of the things to note is that Ren Blackhand currently only targets legendary cards which have the gem. And when they do release the expansion, they're going to update him so that he targets based on having the silver dragon, not the gem. So he still will destroy legendary cards. The orange gem will only be present on all collectible legendary cards. The silver dragon will be present on all legendary cards. And the interesting thing about this change too is that non-legendary cards will have the changes too. So there will be no rarity gem for non-collectible cards. And also, legendary weapons like Ashbringer will lose the rarity gem, and they will have a silver dragon. So there are some changes you're going to see happening in the game. But there is a plan. There's a reason why they're doing it this way, and they are making those changes on the next patch with the expansion. So you'll see that coming forward.
Yes.
And speaking of golden cards, remember how we talked about Twitch Prime and how they do fun things for Twitch Prime members? Well, you have another opportunity to get something cool and free. You can now redeem a golden classic hearth. You can now redeem your Twitch Prime account. You can go in there and click on Twitch Prime and get a golden classic Hearthstone pack. And you can do that until January 9th of next year. So the pack contains 5 cards, and they're all golden. It will not follow any pity timer rules. And here's the cool thing. Espo, you may have discovered this by playing with Rez. You get a pack in every Hearthstone region. So if you play in EU, you get one there. If you play in NA, you get one there. In Asia, you get one over there also. So I did check it out. I went over the EU and opened the pack over there, and I opened my pack in the local. So that's pretty cool. It's funny. I hadn't looked at the EU so long. I had 16 packs to open of various stuff. It was pretty crazy.
See, I do love that, though. That's like when I don't play my other accounts much and I log back into them, I'm like, whoa, it's Christmas.
Right? Yeah, I need to log into my Asia account now so I can open packs.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. So go get your Twitch Prime membership and redeem the Golden Classic Hearthstone pack. I did open mine already for my NA account, and I got not a whole lot. I did get a golden Hoot Hoot.
Oh wow, okay.
So, and the funniest thing is, here's the crazy thing. I actually had one card that I opened. I already had two golden copies of.
Oh my gosh. What in the world?
So I actually dusted a golden card.
Wow, dude. Wow.
That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah. No, you should dust all your good. Dude, you imagine how much dust you could have? You could make all those legendaries that you don't have. You could make your Prince Keliseth.
That's okay. I'll wait to open it. Okay, back to BlizzCon. Okay, here's the details now. New expansion, Kobolds and Catacombs.
Yes.
Gonna release in December. They have not given us a date at this time. Card reveals will begin on November 20th. That's in 2 weeks' time. The pre-order is now available, so if you're interested in pre-ordering it like they have done in the past, it's $49.99 and you get 50 packs and a special card back for pre-ordering.
For the Horde.
Yes, correct. No, for pre-ordering. It's for
no, the card back is called For the Horde.
Right, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's funny.
It's crazy.
135 new cards. All classes are getting a legendary weapon and a legendary minion. Wait.
That's right. All classes.
All classes. I know you're going to wait a second. You mean I have my mage getting a legendary weapon? Yes, you do. That priest? Yes, you do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Might I mention something? And I thought this
you
was
might.
Really cool. So Dave Cossack was with the WoW crew when they were designing the legendary weapons in Legion. Because, when you log into Legion and you go through the initial quest line, they're like, hey, you need to look for this legendary weapon that you're going to upgrade throughout the whole expansion. So you get to choose all these cool legendary weapons based on your class and based on your talent spec. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? He brought those over to Hearthstone. Yay. So you will see and recognize some of these legendary weapons. So see if you can make the connection when you play in this next expansion and see if you can find out which legendary weapon and talent spec they go with.
Right. They got
not all of them, but some.
Not all of them, yeah, but some, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there is also a new keyword. It's called recruit. It summons minions from your deck based on criteria and then puts that card in play. And the criteria changes based on each card. So we haven't even seen any of the criteria yet with the reveals. They kind of teased it a little bit, but they haven't actually gone into that in full detail yet. So we're going to see what that's all about here shortly with this when they start revealing cards.
So will that mean that they will retrofit this into old cards like Barnes? Will it say recruit a minion from your deck and it's changed its stats to 1 and 1?
I didn't hear any of that mentioned.
Right, because isn't that what Barnes does? He recruits a minion and changes its stats to 1/1.
Essentially, but they did go back and change the wording for the cards that are poisonous. Mm-hmm. So they may do something like that.
I'm wondering.
Also, we talked about Mare and the Fox earlier. That was one of the things that was coming with this, that everybody gets Mare and the Fox. But also, that's not all you get for free. Logging in when the expansion goes live in December will get you a free random legendary weapon.
So much like we got the random legendary Death Knight during the adventure mode, we also get legendary weapon in this expansion. So legendaries for everybody. Here's the legendary. Here's the legendary.
Everybody. Legendary. I'd ask you which legendary you're hoping to get, but we don't know yet because we have only seen 2 of them.
That's right.
So, but of those 2, I would rather have either one of those so far.
Oh, they're awesome. The priest one. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
The Dragonstone? Come on.
Yeah, that's insane. I can just imagine what the animations can be like.
I got so many questions about these weapons though. Oh my gosh, so many questions.
Well, the cool thing is, though, with this expansion coming out, there will be no balance changes when this launches. At times in the past, we've had some adjustments made when the expansion comes out because this expansion is going to break this interaction with card X and card Y. So we have to fix these things before it happens. But in this case, they're not making any changes. So, although there will be changes when the next season comes around, because they will have some cards possibly rotate out. See what happens there, but not this turn. This expansion, there won't be any rotation. It's still Year of the Mammoth. This is the last expansion for Year of the Mammoth. And finally, there's a new type of PvE content that will be replacing what would normally be as an adventure. They mentioned that going forward, every expansion is going to have an adventure style content. This is a new type of content called a dungeon run. And the crazy part about this, you don't even have to buy the expansion to get dungeon runs. Dungeon runs are completely free, and they do not require you to have any cards in your collection. Espo, did you fall on the floor? Are you there?
Dude, this is so new player friendly that I actually have to make sure. I'm just double checking right now because I kind of don't believe this. Because
right?
What you're telling me is that a new player can go ahead, make a battle.net account, 10-15 minutes, go through the tutorial, another half an hour. In 45 minutes, they can be playing a dungeon run. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
The fireside gathering's already over, and
everyone's gone home.
Everybody's gone home. No, but in all seriousness, which actually that is serious, but in another side, this is awesome. Like, I did want to do a little bit of research here, and I was actually looking for if there are rewards for the dungeon runs.
There are.
I thought there were.
Read the next line, by the way. Next line. If you successfully complete the dungeon runs with every single class, you will get a special card back.
I think, and that's what I wanted to check, if that was the only reward. I think that is the only reward. So, yeah, but I was feverishly typing because I didn't believe the information. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But man, dungeon runs are so awesome.
Right?
The coolest thing is that unfortunately had it for play. You could actually play through it on the floor when you were at BlizzCon. It's like, man. But I think one of the best things they did at BlizzCon for this whole content is they brought in several very popular players and had them play in a little mini tournament style, and they threw this at them. They didn't know it was coming, and I love this. This was so funny. They were teams of 3 playing against each other, and then they had to play this mode. And they introduced it to everybody and then interviewed each of the players and asked them what they thought, how it was going to work out. It was just fun. Some of the players were like, I don't even know what to expect. But Dog, they asked Dog, and Dog's like, I don't play single player content.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm even going to care. It's like, what?
Dude, this, like, so you said this, you said this was a little tournament. This was the Hearthstone tournament.
Yes,
this was the Invitational.
Well, I'm just saying, the fact that they threw it on them without them knowing it was going to happen.
They were like, hey, by the way, one of the formats that you're going to have to play in is the Dungeon Run.
Something you've never seen before.
Right. So they had 3 players, and each of them had to go up against the first 3 bosses in the dungeon. And of course, it was basically for second place. It was second and third place that played in the Dungeon Run to see who advanced to play in the finals.
But I think the brilliant part about that is that, one, you got to see these players getting their first experience to it. It wasn't
that was the cool part,
walking through it.
Yeah.
And also people who don't play single player experiences either, getting a real taste in front of everybody. And we really got to see how it worked better. Mm-hmm. And that was fantastic. I think it was a great choice for doing that.
Now they did change it a little bit for that format. That's not exactly how it's going to run. They're going to change it a little bit as far as the rewards after you beat each boss, but it's pretty similar. I mean, those are the basics. That's how it's going to run. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, it's called the Hearthstone Invitational, and there's probably some videos out there of that dungeon run. There was 2 teams of 3, so 6 people had to run through it. I forget the 2 teams that ran it.
Well, Alistraza, Dog, and trying to remember who else was on the teams.
No, Alistraza didn't run through it because they got out. Her and Toast and
her Toast and Ant.
Yeah, they got out early. Unfortunately, they were my team. I really wanted them to go all the way.
Well, what this is, and just kind of a quick high level on how this thing works, is that the new type of content is that what they're saying is probably going to have the most replayability of any of their single player content they've ever had it before. And I honestly agree with them on this, because I know personally I'm looking forward to doing this over and over again. And there are currently, and I'm doing air quotes on that, currently 48 encounters in total, which is made up of a huge assortment of cards created just for this mode. And the way they kind of said this, it sounded like that if this goes over well, that they could add additional content to this in the future, which extends the life of this whole game mode. So I hope that I have a good feeling this is going to be something that turns out to have a life of its own, and we may actually see this really popular going forward.
Oh, yeah.
Then they said that in the intro that there are 1.42 cobillion. That's right. And they made up a
cobillion because they used the kobold math magicians to figure it out. And I think this is really, really cool. You know, with Knights of the Frozen Throne, we got your dungeon raid run where you ran through, you got the battle bosses in a typical adventure mode, ending with the Lich King, you know, running up the Ice Crown Citadel and battling all those bosses. Super cool. I loved it. You know, you got rewards along the way, and then at the end you got your big reward. This is really, really cool, and it works perfectly in line with the original concept of kobolds and catacombs. It goes back to the good old days. If you're Vestidus and I's age, you remember the days of playing pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, where this brings me back to is actually a game I used to play in ASCII mode called Rogue.
Yep.
And they mentioned it in the intro about it. I loved that game. I played that game so much. And this is exactly the same concept. That basically what you do is you progress through the dungeon state levels, fighting bosses that get progressively harder. You start out with a certain set amount of health. I think it was 10 health. I couldn't remember exactly. And a limited amount of cards. And when you defeat the first boss, you're going to have options to choose from additional cards, like sets of 3 cards, and you get 3 choices. Pick one that you want to add to your decks. Other perks like passive abilities, some special legendary cards will be available. There's going to be a bunch of different options you're going to come across. And as you continue on level by level, you keep going until you either die or you complete all the bosses.
Yeah.
And the last bosses are going to be really, really challenging. In fact, I think they did say one of the bosses was almost impossible for them to beat in testing.
Nice.
So real challenging at the end. But and the thing is, there's some bosses that are legendary bosses, I guess you would say. They're less likely to get them. So you're going to have situations where you'll play through this whole thing and actually win the whole thing and may not see this one boss until you win 3 or 4 times, or maybe even 7 or 8 times, that you won't see all the bosses that are available. So it's going to have to be a thing where you keep going back, trying to beat it again, and continue trying to do the best you can. Now, the thing is, though, if you lose and you die, you have to start all over again with right back where you're at. Same health at the beginning and no cards.
Your character died. As you're going along, you're leveling up. You're leveling up so you can beat harder bosses. You're getting more cards. You're getting more abilities. Leveling up your character, running through this dungeon, getting yourself ready for the final boss, and you die. Well, guess what? Right. Game over. That's the way it goes.
Start over.
So I'm super
cool thing
excited.
Is
it's going to be awesome.
Get different bosses every time you go in there. It's not going to be like you start over and go, okay, here we go again. Got to beat the rat. Got to beat the snake. Got to beat the turtle. Whatever it is, one after another. I know how to beat each one of them. Yeah. So looking super fun towards this. So, and the other big thing that they announced is they had a Q&A. And during the Q&A, they announced that they're going to be adding 9 new arena cards into the game for a limited time. And they mentioned it was kind of an experiment to play with things a little bit. But the cool thing is the way they actually introduce these cards to us as what cards are going to be included. How did they do that, Espo? What do you want to say?
So I really like the way they did this. I
do too.
Rez and I actually took part in the Q&A last year, and it was really neat. They had a panel, hey, anybody have any questions? So you got in a line, you got to ask questions. Well, this year, Ben Brode took over. He wasn't on the panel last year, and he was on it this year. And he wasn't sitting down. He was standing up, full Ben Brode style, grabs the mic. Welcome to BlizzCon. Welcome to the Q&A, but we are not going to have a Q&A. We're going to save that for last, of course. He's got to throw a wrench in everything. He says, I'm going to bring up a class, and I'm going to bring up 3 cards. These are 3 crazy cards. You are going to clap and cheer for the one you want in the game. What? For real? So the audience watching the Q&A got to choose which card that the development team, which was sitting, part of the Hearthstone team, I think it was Yongwu and Peter Whalen.
Yep, and Mike Dene.
So they were on the panel and they were sitting there, and they gave their opinions on each card, and they said, because they're part of the design team. They actually help. That they sit in on panels and talk about these cards. So they know these cards, and they weighed in on which one they really liked, and the audience got to cheer for which one they wanted in the arena. So it was really cool the way they did this. And then of course they had the Q&A afterwards, which was also really good. There were some really good questions, but man, Ben Brode never ceases to amaze me. They are crazy. They are very crazy.
Here's a couple of them. Deadeye, Hunter card. For the rest of the game, your hero power can also target minions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, Mage card. Polymorph, question mark. Choose a minion. Discover a new minion to transform it into.
I like that.
That's awesome.
That. Yeah.
Blazing Longsword. Also damages the minions next to whomever you attack as a 2/3 weapon. Hand of Salvation. Secret. When your second minion dies in a turn, revive it.
Not your first, your second.
The second one, right. Generous Spirit. Give your friendly minion to your opponent and draw 3 cards.
It's treachery with draw factor. I love it. I love it. So these cards were, they were thrown up on the screen, and Ben Brod's like, which one you want in the game? And he's like, okay, it's in the game. Yep. It's like, wow, that's awesome. Now, when I say it's in the game, like Vestidia said earlier, it's going to be in arena for a limited time. But still, that's really cool. That's just awesome stuff.
Okay, now the craziest one they picked was Crackling Doom for Shaman. 0 cost card. 0 cost. Deal 12 damage to all minions. Overload 10.
Yeah, miss your next turn.
Right? But hey, you get to wipe the board.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
So those cards will be in arena for a limited time, but there are some cards that'll be in the game in December when the expansion launches. And these were the cards that were revealed at BlizzCon. Oh my gosh. There's
Nope. You know what? Tell you what. We're gonna do that next week.
Okay. All right. Because I just thought about this. Dude, if we start talking about these cards, I will be talking. Even if we just say the stats, I will. Yeah.
Yes, you will.
They're awesome.
I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
But absolutely a lot of blast for the whole thing. Real quickly, we'll mention the other reveals that happened. There's some real, if you have a virtual ticket, you should go watch the stuff. You can continue to watch it in the future. You're able to go watch all this stuff. It's well worth watching. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Hearthstone, what's next? That's when they actually talk about all the cards.
And you get to see the graphics and everything that they show some of the card contents and how they the effects on the board and things like that too. So they're really worth seeing all that. Other games, Overwatch has a new hero coming out that is pretty crazy. It's also on a PTR right now, so if you want to go play with it, you can go check it out right now. It's a healer type class that is pretty crazy. It's a lot of fun to play with. They're also going to have a new map called Blizzard World, which is based on a theme park. That is amazing. You need to watch the intro video. Go to search on YouTube, Blizzard World, and you can see the whole intro thing. It's really cool looking. Another big thing is StarCraft. StarCraft 2 is going free to play. That is crazy. I know.
Is it the 19th?
I don't know the date, but here's the crazy part is that if you have the expansion, the first expansion for it,
Wings of Liberty.
And the Wings of Liberty, didn't they say that you get the second one with that as part of it?
So right now, like for me, I have the starter edition, which was free, right? And so I will get Wings of Liberty for free. Now, if you bought StarCraft and then you bought Wings of Liberty, then you will get, I believe it's, what's the next one? Heart of the Swarm.
Heart of the Swarm. Yep.
So you'll get Heart of the Swarm for free.
Now the thing is, though, you need to log in between November 8th and December 8th to get that.
Yeah. So let's just say you already have everything StarCraft 2, all the way up to Legacy of the Void. Well, you'll be getting a special skin, a special ghost skin for your characters, I guess, as a special reward for, all your hard work and due diligence with keeping up with the game.
And you get 3 new portraits.
Yeah. But cool stuff. I'm not a real big StarCraft 2 fan, but I am a Blizzard fan, so I'm definitely excited for this.
Yes, definitely. I enjoyed StarCraft, the original game, and I've never really gotten into StarCraft 2, but I've always wanted to, and so I probably need to break that out and do something. So.
Well, we can do it.
Yep. And then the other thing is Heroes of the Storm has 2 new characters, and they have a new map, and they're doing their crazy stuff as usual. All kinds of different things happening.
If you haven't, go watch. What is it? Double Dragons? I don't know what it's called, but Alex Straza, Hanzo, watch that trailer. Oh my goodness. You will get goosebumps.
That trailer was awesome.
Blizzard did not let me down. Holy smokes. Their animation department, their design department, whoever does these videos, these are incredible. You could make a movie based on these.
Oh,
it looks
totally.
like a movie for a trailer.
They needed to be doing
a trailer for a movie. Yeah, so go watch it.
And the last thing is World of Warcraft. They have a new expansion coming out called the Battle of Azeroth. And they also announced
Azeroth.
Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah.
Yes. And they announced that legacy servers will be coming back. They are in the works. Yes.
Dude, do you like the way they did that? Did you see? He gets up on the stage. He's like, I know you guys want to talk about Warcraft, but let me talk about something really quick. Ice cream. Yeah. Who all likes ice cream? I really like ice cream, and I like vanilla ice cream. And then you hear like people in the audience are like, oh, yeah. You know, people that are starting to realize what's going on. Right. Because, you know, they're going to bring back some of the vanilla servers. So if you want to play with the original, you know, vanilla World of Warcraft, they're going to bring that back. They don't know when, but soon, trademark, it'll be here.
Yes. Well, with this comes a lot of different things. I mean, there's way too much that we could even cover right here in the last few minutes, but let it be said, there's 10 new dungeons available on release. There's new island expedition scenarios, which are 3-player scenarios. There's new leveling scaling that's available. There's new allied races for the Alliance and Horde. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, no, there's another Pathfinder achievement. Great.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Oh, no. 6 new character slots per realm.
Though, so.
6 new character slots per realm. Yes.
Well, that's because you're going to be able to be Alliance Troll, Alliance Tauren, Alliance Undead. Interesting.
So yeah, go check all that out. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. Go listen to the instance. They're going to go over it in detail if you want to listen to World of Warcraft coverage. But yeah, I mean, man, there's all kinds of stuff came out of this BlizzCon. Good stuff. And Overwatch League starts next end of December. Mm-hmm. So we have all 12 teams are decided. They have their homes, they have their logos. All that was revealed, and that whole thing kicks off at the end of this year, and that's gonna be awesome too. So,
hey, let me ask you this: with getting ready for this expansion, are you ready? How much gold? How much dust?
Well, you tell me how much you have while I load it up and find out.
You know, I'm always on the up and up with making sure I have enough gold. I always try to get at least 5K. I like having 5,000 gold. Open up 50 packs, and then I buy 50 packs. 100 packs usually is good at the beginning of an expansion. I get almost all the cards I want, have enough dust to craft the ones I want, and then as the expansion goes on, obviously I'm winning packs. They're giving me packs. And I don't usually have to buy anything for the rest of the expansion. And so everything's good. Everything's good. Unfortunately, I've had a string of unfortunate events that have kept me from either playing Hearthstone and or getting gold. So I am at 1,600 and some gold, but I am up to like 1,500 some dust. So I'm about neck and neck. But the past couple days I have been getting about 100 gold a day, so I'm getting there. It's looking like I'll probably have about 3,000 gold by the time of release, which isn't what I want, but you know it'll be cool. It'll just be a little bit more difficult for me to have all those cards right away. It'll make the game a lot more fun.
Well, I will not be anywhere near that number. I will tell you that right now. I know that. Thankfully they gave us a couple free rounds of arena so I didn't have to pay for that.
Yes, they did.
That was nice.
I got
I'm almost in the game.
Them.
Yeah, I didn't
so
either.
They gave us two free rounds of arena, I think, and I ended up going with my first run. I think I went 3-3. Second run, I went 1-3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I am sitting at 135 gold.
What do you spend your gold on? What in the world? What are you buying with this gold? There's nothing to buy.
Packs.
What packs of what?
The last expansion. I'm still got cards I need.
What, dude?
It's only 100 gold.
Dust the gold. It's what in the world? See, this is how it works for me. I get golden cards. I get dust. It's easy peasy, man.
Well, see, the thing is, as of today, when I dusted my golden card, by the way, that one golden card for 50 dust.
Because you already had 2 golden copies. You had no choice.
I'm at 1,600 dust.
Okay.
So I'm dust rich, gold poor, or not really rich, but
here's what you need to do. I'm gonna give you some advice. You need to save your gold. Don't buy any more packs. You need to re-roll all your 40 gold quests every chance you get. Please log in every day, do your quests. Come on, Vestidius, you need that gold.
I know I need the gold, because otherwise, if I don't do that, then it's going to be expensive.
Yes.
Although I have not been playing WoW much lately at all, but I am kind of getting the itch to get back in there and to work on my gold farming to kind of increase my gold so I can start buying Blizzard tokens again.
I'll tell you what, you and I can get in, we could run old school dungeons, get all that stuff, and go ahead and sell transmog gear and get lots of gold, cash that in for BlizzCon credit.
Blizzard.
Blizzard credit. BlizzCon. Oh my God, BlizzCon on my brain. So anyway.
But yes, you're right. I could craft Prince Keleseth right this minute.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
Dude, he's strong.
I'm not sure.
Dude, he's strong.
And I bet he is.
So strong.
But there's so many other cards too that I want.
Like what?
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. You want Prince Keleseth?
Rathion.
What? What are you going to use Rathion for? Come on.
And Don Huncho. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Whoa, you gotta have Don Huncho. Oh, so that reminds
the Boogie Monster, Mayor Nagapagan.
No, you don't want
Yasharj.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have Yasharj?
Yeah, Yasharj.
Okay, so let me take you on a trip through the past real quick. Old Gods came out. I crafted all the old gods right away. Had to. Mean Streets of Gadget Zen came out. I crafted Aya. I crafted Don Huncho. I did not craft Kazakis, and I paid for it later on. I should have crafted him. I did end up crafting him, and I'm thankful for that. Knights of the Frozen Throne. Crafting all the hero legendaries, didn't do it, but I have most of the important ones. I want to say I don't have the warrior. I probably don't have the shaman, but I have most of them. So the next expansion, get all the weapons.
And the thing is also, I don't have hardly any of the quest cards, the legendary quest cards.
Yeah, that was weird. You didn't open up any of those. That's right. With Ungoro, we had quests. So I have almost all the quests too.
And I don't have most of the legendaries from that expansion either. The Lich Kings from, hardly any of those guys too.
Dude, I think I see the problem here.
I'm not playing enough. It's a problem.
Well, but you're also wanting gold cards more than you're wanting legendaries because you dust all those gold. So in your search, I want you to type golden.
I already exited. Too bad.
Yeah. No, this is next time you get in and dust all those.
Nope. Not happening.
Do you realize though the legendaries beautiful. You could craft?
You realize how much art went into those cards to make them gold?
You know what though? I do like that you do that because at least one of us. And it's weird that you appreciate the art that goes into it, but I appreciate the cards themselves.
Yep.
Geez. I love playing with these cards. I like looking at them, but yeah. Right now I'm hooked on Marin the Fox with my rogue.
Oh, I totally
am shadow stepping him and getting all the chests. Yeah.
I got to build that. So yeah.
I want to make an anti-Marin the Fox deck with treachery.
Bring it and swap them back over.
Yeah, throw it to my opponent and then kill it off and take the treasure. Yeah,
of course, definitely.
True thievery in a warlock.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no reviews this week.
Okay.
Or last week or the week before that. No emails through that time frame either. However, we did get a tweet from Matt Snyder. He says, I just renewed my monthly Twitch Prime sub. Keep up the good work. We thank you for that.
Yeah, right. So as a Twitch Prime member, you get one sub for free. You can sub to any channel. And we would appreciate those free subscriptions. That would be awesome. Because it helps support us. You know, we are partnered with Twitch now. And the more subscribers we get, the better we look.
And then we also had a Facebook shout out I wanted to mention. Unfortunately, it's a kind of a sad Facebook shout out because it's for Will. He posted, I don't think I've had this much bad luck since beta. And he posts a picture of his arena run with 0 wins, 3 losses.
This was tough. So this past arena, and I think it might still be going on, or maybe it isn't. You had 2 classes. So the first class was your hero.
Yeah,
the second class you got to choose was the hero power. So it was difficult. Cool. It wasn't easy. And then when you chose your cards, you could choose. They had a lot more class cards available because you got to choose from 2 different classes. It was, I saw a lot of rogue and a lot of mage.
And see, that's where some of my gold went.
What in the world?
I enjoyed that arena. That was fun.
It was fun, really but fun. Aren't you the one that always goes 0-3?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I usually win at least 1. But that's about it.
Okay.
In my few runs I did have a 1-3 run and a 3-3 run. I think I had a 4-3 run. So
yeah, I just did it. I think we had 2 free. I
would say I
only paid for arena once.
Oh, so you did too? Okay, I did. I paid for arena once.
Yeah. Well, not just as. I mean, ever.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, but then again, we looked at your arena numbers before, and you have played what, 10, and here I am 400.
My highest arena win is I think it's 8.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I got an 8-win arena one time, 8 or 9.
Well, awesome. Okay, so next week we will talk about the new cards that came that were announced, revealed. We'll dig into that a little bit further, and so yeah, that's about it. So I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you're back on the mend. It's good to see.
Yeah, mending up.
Starting to freak out. Starting to get the resumes in order to see who's going to replace you, and
jeez,
that didn't look good. I was like, what? But anyways, thanks again for hanging out with us in chat. You're welcome to come join us on twitch.tv/Loti podcast. We record Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you can also use your Twitch Prime to support the show if you'd like to. It's free to you, and it helps support the show, and it's a great way to do that. And we definitely appreciate the support. And next week, we'll be back talking about cards. And then the week after that, we'll talk about the new cards that get revealed. So back to the grind, back to the work of finding out what's going on and sharing it with you. So thanks again for supporting us. We look forward to talking to you next week. So later.
Good job, team.
Okay. Hour 17.
Yeah, I was like, if we start talking about these cards, it's going to be another hour.
Well, you said at the beginning, you said, remind me not to, that we'll do that.
Yeah.
And you were about to go ahead into it. You were like, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
I was thinking to myself, I can run through these. I know I can. And then in the back of my mind,
I look over at the clock and see already over an hour. Yeah. No, you can't.
I was like, oh, maybe I can't. Because then I started looking at the cards, like the actual details. And, I'd seen them all before, and I was like, oh man. So I gotta find out about this. I gotta talk about this. Like,
never mind.
Right. All right. Yeah. So what are we doing? D3?
Yeah.
How do we do that? Discord? Is that?
Yes.
Battle.net, not a client.
Probably Battle.net actually.
Okay, so I don't need to, because I'm sure my Discord needs